Ready?
Yay. Right.
Hello, it's Jac Mel, and we're off to
Derbyshire.
Ooh, where is Derbyshire?
Was all the way up the M5 and the M1.
Yes.
Chog.
3 hours.
It was really wet and grey. Got quite hungry.
KFC. We love KFC. This is a fine sight for any man. There she is, yes.
And our first stop was Chatsworth House.
We were going to go cycling, but the weather wasn't good enough. But by the time we got there, it was sunny.
But we did spend too long having a cup of coffee.
So we had to sprint to the entrance to get in.
We did. We were the last ones in, but we got to see everything with loads of time. It was absolutely stunning.
So it was empty, and the art was quite incredible. Everywhere you look, it was crammed full.
Statues, marble,
But
so much detail.
Old and new as well. We like that. This next one is this is from Pride and Prejudice, but they're all different styles.
They had an exhibition there, didn't they? So there's quite a lot of modern things to look at. And there were some little areas that the family still uses that we could see. I think the library is coming up.
Yeah. You can see it was pretty much perfect.
It was just rammed full of the most gorgeous things. Yes. Everywhere you looked.
Made me a bit of a Republican, to be honest with you, but there you go. We did have chats, and one of the guides, this was his favourite picture of old London town.
Before the Fire of London.
Yeah.
And that's the library, the private library.
Wow.
And this is the dining room, which was made into a girls' dormitory during the war.
Yes. So by the time we got out, it was beautifully sunny and empty, as you can pretty much see. Wowza, the Emperor Fountain at Chatsworth. And this is Mel's namesake, Capability Brown.
Yeah, all the grounds are landscaped by Capability Brown, and that is the view.
The view.
There I am, appreciating it.
The woman. Chatsworth. Pride and Prejudice. What a house. Quite incredible. And then up to the Rookery.
Yeah, we decided to do a little tour around the grounds while we still could. This is fantastic. Every single set of steps was a different number, so the sound of the water changed. It was really clever. Yes. And really it was serene, and just you could look down across the whole valley. Quite late by now, so we were literally the last people getting out. This is the orangery, and once we were out, we went to Bakewell and had a tart, and then we went on to Haddon Hall. What was happening in Haddon Hall? Haddon Hall the next day was really wet, really wet, but fantastic place. Dated back to, I think, Saxon foundations under the chapel. Same family there since the conquest, and it was almost a complete opposite of Chatsworth, only about 4 or 5 miles away, but whereas Chatsworth was perfect, this was kind of more of not a ruin, but it wasn't polished. Well, it had skipped, it stayed in the same family through marriage, but there were 200 years where it had been uninhabited, therefore not renovated by the Victorians or the Georgians. So a lot of the things were left intact. Here's Mel here. It was really lovely and oldie-woldy. The chapel was particularly good. This is one of the bits that had Saxon foundations. This was originally in the chapel, the kind of Last Supper, and then on the walls. Yeah, they'd worked to uncover lots of frescoes. I think the family still worship there as well. The family still live there. I've never seen anything like it actually. They'd had a new roof put on it. They'd had a family of masons come in where the father trained the son. So this is all, they've all been refurbished by one of the dukes. And you can see there's some really quite elegant bits. But the gardens, well, they weren't Chatsworth polished gardens, but we liked them. Yeah, they were quite ramshackle. It was lovely. Had a cottagey garden feel to it. And that's quite a view when you look at the side of the house and down through into the gardens. And there was a lovely little story about how one of the daughters had eloped with her lover, and she'd met him across a tiny little bridge in the gardens, and they disappeared for a while, but then years later the father, good old dad, had gifted the property back to them. There's the bridge where they eloped from. This is the chapel where we've been earlier, and this is just showing you the countryside, not Capability Brown now, but just English countryside on a wet old day. So that was quite something. It's an impressive place. Very impressive place. Which do you prefer, Chatsworth or that one? Well, I love them both actually. Very, very different.
This is Bakewell. This is where we had that tart because we were going on to
Petr and Tina's 40th wedding anniversary
40
party.
years. Congratulations! And this is
Fisher's Hall.
Fisher's Hall. Look at that mob of Northerners.
It was a great gathering.
We were very honoured. Mel's next to Petr and I'm next to Tina.
They did a nice swapping around thing, didn't they?
Marvellous speeches. I think, Tina, you know, you've been a fantastic marriage. The family and the friends. I just want to tell you a little quick story. I got married last month. And it's been a long and tortuous journey.
Yes.
Hurried love. We met 42 years ago. 42 years ago. What happened? I was at a party and Mel came up the steps with a sister and I met this vision of beauty and it stayed with me all my life. And when I talked to Mel about it, she said, yes, I remember it as well. You were with that tall, blonde, handsome boy. I don't know anything about blonde boys. And of course it was Mr. Needham. And we've been good friends all those many long years.
Friends.
You've been good friends. So I know the family love you and Tina and Petr, but I just want to say from the friend's point of view, thank you for being our friend. Yeah. You couldn't have asked for a better friend.
Here. Excellent.
Oh, they loved that speech. Look at them, and we loved the party. It was a fantastic party.
It was fantastic. We all went to church the next morning, which was the church that they got married in
40 years ago.
I know.
Look, they haven't changed. It's quite remarkable. But I've changed. That's me with Adam Haig. Petr, what advice have you got for Mr. Haig?
I think Adam should now rest from his labours.
Long labours. And why are we here?
We're here because 40 years ago Adam was here with us as well.
Down the pub.
One of the boys.
Yes.
And I got married to the gorgeous Mrs. Needham.
Woohoo!
And we're back here 40 years on, celebrating that wonderful occasion.
And we miss you. So bye-bye, Adam. And we'll see you soon. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
So it carried on the next day. There was a nice buffet lunch, and on the way home we stopped at Bolsover Castle, which is a really strange place. It was built by Edward VII.
Yes.
And it was a party palace.
Part of it being ruined in the Civil War, but they still had this amazing keep over here.
Yeah.
Which we thought we'd better go off and.
But it was very strange. It was full of bedrooms and rooms specifically for partying.
And weird art. If Chatsworth had magnificent art, this had weird art by weird people.
It was a strange place. It had a really strange feel about it as well. It just wasn't at all joyous.
It was,
given that it was party palace, it wasn't joyous. It was slightly threatening.
Yeah. But look, it overviewed the valley. It's a strategic point. You can see why it was so important. And then after that, well, we drove home basically, almost in kind of one.
We rolled back down south.
We had a great weekend. Thank you very much, Pete and Tina.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Mm.